Yes. What is the next topic? Interdependence of different sectors. That is, question will be said that so that these different sectors are interdependent. That is, depending on each other. Interdependent means depending on each other. Depending on each other. Depending on each other. Okay? Now look at this example. You see, we eat bread. We eat bread in the morning. We buy bread from the market, from the shops, and eat them. Now you see, so the shop that deals with, suppose say Azad Bikari, okay, that deals with or sells this bread depend upon the supreme food products, that is on secondary sector. Service sector depends on secondary sector, and again secondary sector also, that is bread company, alright, or biscuit company, Anmol Mary, or Britannia, or any other company, Biscuit. All these company depend upon wheat. You see, if wheat is not produced at all, then Anmol Mary cannot produce biscuits. So you see, Anmol Mary is a secondary sector. So you see, secondary sector depends upon wheat. That is primary sector. Alright? Again, primary sector, that is, if wheat is not sold at all, wheat must have to be sold in the market, and industry must have to be that industry, that is any biscuit company or any food products company must have to turn the wheat into bread or biscuit or any cake or anything else. Understand? So you see, primary sector depending upon secondary sector. Again, after production of bread, after production of wheat, primary sector has to depend on secondary sector for production of bread, for turning wheat into flour and flour into bread. And then again, secondary sector has to depend upon service sector, because bread must have to be carried them and sold in different shops, and that is transportation. So you see that these three sectors are interdependent, that is, are dependent on each other. Okay? These three sectors are dependent on each other. Alright? Now, let me rub the board clean. Other examples. Yes, primary sector examples: agriculture, first agriculture, then dairy, then poultry, okay, then fishing, then forestry, then mining. All these depend upon natural resources. All these factors depend upon natural resources. That is, these are the examples of primary sector. Okay? Alright, secondary. Examples of secondary. Now, actually, secondary is the industry. All kinds of industry are secondary sector. All kinds of factory and industry. All kinds of factory and industry. All kinds of factory and industry. Alright, you see that skin, with the help of skin, leather shoes are made, leather bags are made. Alright, now sea leathers produce these bags. How? What is the material? The material is the skin of animals. So skin of animals, you see, it is an activity of the primary sector. Alright? So you see, shoe, cotton, all kinds of factory and industry, alright, belong to secondary sector. Last, tertiary or service sector. Tertiary or service sector. Examples. Tertiary or service sectors. Okay? Examples. Transportation. Transport. Communication. Banking. Trade. Okay? Trade, insurance, all these are tertiary or service sector. You see, wheat is to be carried from one place to another. Wheat must have to be carried from one place to another. You see, alright. So transport, trucks are required, and this is service sector because the truck drivers do not produce goods, but he produce what? Truck drivers do not produce goods, but give the service. He generates services. Okay, that is transport. Communication, banking. Those who are working in the banks, okay, are engaged in different kinds of activities. Exchange of money, transaction of money are being there. Other kinds of services are also there. These are teachers, doctors, sweepers, okay, washermen, yes, cobbler, all these belong to tertiary or service sector. Am I clear? Okay, now there is an exercise in the book. Okay, we must have to work out the exercise now. Alright. Open your book, page number 21 perhaps. See, open your book, page number 21. Yes, page number 21, right hand column. You see, there is a table 2.1. Table 2.1. Okay, examples of economic activities. And what does it prove? Okay, you will have to do. Imagine what would happen if farmers refuse to sell sugarcane to a particular sugar mill. The mill would have to shut down. Answer is given here. This is an example of the secondary sector or industrial sector dependent on the primary sector. Unless sugarcane is produced by the farmers, sugar industry, okay, will flop. Alright? Second example. First one is already given. Number 2, example number 2. Imagine what would happen to cotton cultivation if companies decide not to buy from the Indian market and import all cotton they need from other countries. Then Indian cotton cultivation will become less profitable and the farmers may even go bankrupt. That is, they will not be able to sell their cotton if they cannot quickly switch to other crops. So cotton prices will fall. What is this? This is primary sector depending on secondary sector. Okay? Primary sector depending on secondary sector. You see, cotton cultivation. Yes, if the cotton textile industry does not buy cotton from Indian producers, so producers will suffer. So here primary sector is depending on secondary sector. Okay. Now number three. Okay, let me pass on to the last video.